Raider Nation, we have over $100 million to burn, the number 1 overall pick in our pocket, and a roster that is screaming for trench warfare. If you think I'm about to suggest we splash cash on flashy divas, think again. I'm talking about writing a blank check to the single nastiest center in football. We are building a bully in 2026, and it starts with this list. What is going on, Raider Nation? We are officially staring down the barrel of the most critical offseason in the history of this franchise. Let's just keep it real for a second. We have holes everywhere. You look at the roster, and it's not just a leak, the dam has burst. Trying to narrow this down to just 10 names was an absolute nightmare because, frankly, I could have listed 50 guys we need to sign. But here is the silver lining: we have cap space. A mountain of it. Whether you are looking at the projections or the hard numbers, the silver and black have over $100 million to spend. And I am telling you right now, you are going to see a theme in this video. I am done with the cute stuff. I am done with the finesse. If there is one area where I am willing to overpay, it is for grown men who put their hand in the dirt and move people against their will. If you are ready to see the Raiders stop messing around and finally build a team that dominates the line of scrimmage, smash that like button, share this with a friend, and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a beat. We know the situation. We have the number 1 overall pick coming up in April. We know the coaching carousel is spinning out of control this winter. But free agency hits in March, and that is where the foundation gets poured. This is going to be chaos, and I want you riding with us through every second of it. We are counting this down from number 10 to the absolute number 1 priority. Let's get to work. Coming in at number 10, I am looking at the offensive guard from the New York Jets, Alijah Vera-Tucker. Now, I know what you're thinking. But he missed the whole season. You are right. He tore his triceps. He didn't play a snap for the Jets last year, and if you look at his 5-year career, he has missed almost as many games as he has played. It's a valid concern. But I have to ask myself, is he injury-prone, or was he just a victim of that cursed turf at MetLife Stadium? Go back to his USC tape. The guy was a tank. He wasn't made of glass back then. He can play left guard, right guard, and even kick out to tackle in a pinch. We are desperate for offensive line help, and because of the injury history, we might catch a discount. Maybe a team gets scared off. But I remember the prospect coming out of USC, and he was one of my favorites. Some of you might say, why risk the money on a guy who is always hurt? Here is why: I believe in the young guys we have, like Caleb Rogers and Jordan Meredith. If you sign Vera-Tucker and he stays healthy, you have a Pro Bowl caliber starter. If he goes down, you have Caleb Rogers, who played over 900 snaps last year with a solid 77.7 grade, ready to step in. It's a high-reward play that solidifies the depth. At number 9, give me the mustache himself, Connor McGovern. This guy has been holding it down for the Buffalo Bills, and he is exactly the kind of versatile interior lineman we need. The big question here is how you fit the puzzle pieces together. Do you sign McGovern to play center and move Jackson Powers Johnson to guard? Or do you keep JPJ at center and put McGovern at guard? Personally, I think McGovern has played his best football at center. Look at the stats: back-to-back seasons in Buffalo with 0 sacks allowed. I don't care who you are, that is impressive. His market value is sitting around $16 million a year, and I would pay that in a heartbeat. He played over 1,000 snaps last year, graded out well, and brings a level of consistency we have been starving for. If you want to protect the quarterback we are about to draft at number 1, you start by signing guys who don't let people touch him. Let me ask you this honestly: do we really trust the development of our young offensive tackles enough to ignore the veteran market entirely? That brings me to number 8, the cornerback from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jamal Dean. This makes too much sense because of the connection with our GM, John Spytek. They spent time together in Tampa, and Spytek knows exactly what Dean brings to the table. He is 29 years old, and while he has battled some durability issues, never playing a full 17-game slate, when he is on the field, he is locked down. Last season he allowed a passer rating of just 46.9. That is elite. His market value is around $12.6 million. In a perfect world, I would love to see us bring back Eric Stokes, but adding a veteran like Dean who knows the system and has the length and speed to compete in the AFC West is a no-brainer. We need an identity in the secondary. We have some young talent like Darian Porter, but Dean gives us a proven commodity who can step in on day one and challenge receivers. Number 7 is the offensive tackle from the Indianapolis Colts, Braden Smith. I want to be clear here, Smith is on this list because he is the best right tackle hitting the market. Period. But this ranking depends entirely on how you feel about our current room. If you are sold on DJ Glaze or Charles Grant taking that next step, maybe you pass on Smith. Personally, I trust Charles Grant more than Glaze right now, but Smith has over 100 starts since 2018. He is a rock. Market value is roughly $13.5 million. If we sign him, maybe you kick DJ Glaze inside to guard, or you have the best swing tackle depth in the league. It creates competition, and competition breeds excellence. If we can't land my top targets, Smith is the perfect insurance policy to ensure our offensive line doesn't collapse. Moving to number 6, I am looking at the pass rusher, Odafe Oweh. I view him as a pure edge threat. We need someone who can complement Max Crosby because we cannot ask Max to do it all by himself forever. Oweh is a freak athlete. I watched him dominate at Penn State growing up. He had 17.5 sacks over the last 2 seasons, 18 quarterback hits last year alone, and he is spectacular against the run. We have a decision to make with Malcolm Koonce. Do you bring Koonce back for $8 million, or do you spend $15 to $20 million on a guy like Oweh who has a higher ceiling? I am in the camp of spending the money. We need to get north and south. We need to wreck game plans. Oweh gives us that explosive element off the edge that terrifies offensive coordinators. Question of the day: we are halfway through the list, and I want to hear from you. If you could only sign one player this offseason, regardless of the price tag, who is the one guy the Raiders absolutely must bring to Las Vegas? Drop a name in the comments right now. At number 5, we are going with the linebacker, Devin Lloyd. In my opinion, he is the best off-ball linebacker available. He is coming off a career year in Jacksonville, and while the Jaguars struggled, Lloyd was a bright spot. He does it all. He can blitz, he can stuff the run, and he is excellent in coverage. Remember that 99-yard pick six he had on Patrick Mahomes? That is the kind of playmaker we need. It will cost us, probably around $20 million a year, but look at our linebacker room. Everyone is a free agent. We have some young guys like Tommy Eichenberg and Cody Lindenberg, but are you comfortable handing them the keys to the defense? I'm not. I want a proven leader in the middle. Devin Lloyd fills the stat sheet with plays that actually matter, unlike some guys who just rack up empty tackles 10 yards downfield. Number 4 is a guy I am getting more excited about by the minute, Alec Pierce, the wide receiver. If you are one of the people screaming for us to draft a quarterback, maybe a Fernando Mendoza type, then you need to be screaming for Alec Pierce. Our receiver room is painfully young. Trey Tucker, Donnie Thornton Jr., Jack Beck, they have potential, but we need a veteran who can stretch the field. Pierce is 26 years old and fits this offense like a glove. He is 6 feet 3 inches, runs like a deer, and he blocks his tail off. Losing Jakobi Meyers hurt my soul, and Pierce feels like a younger, faster version of that. He had over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns last year. Pair him with Brock Bowers, and suddenly you have a legitimate 1-2 punch that makes life a lot easier for a rookie quarterback. Number 3 is back to the trenches, David Edwards, the guard from the Bills. I am calling it now, Edwards is the best guard on the market. He is going to get paid, and he deserves every penny. He played over 2,000 snaps at left guard in the last 2 years and gave up a total of 3 sacks. In 2024, he gave up 0. That is the kind of security blanket we need. If we draft Ashton Janty and Brock Bowers in the first round recently, why would we not invest in the guys blocking for them? I don't care if it costs $20 million a year. Our offensive line play has been mediocre for too long. Edwards brings a nastiness and consistency that instantly upgrades the entire unit. The warning before we get to the top two, I need to issue a warning. There is one name being floated around that John Spytek and Tom Brady need to avoid like the plague. That man is George Pickens. Talent-wise? Sure, he is a top 10 receiver. But attitude-wise? Absolutely not. I am not paying $30 million a year to a guy who refuses to block and throws a tantrum when he doesn't get the ball. We are trying to build a culture here. We don't need Antonio Brown 2.0 destroying the locker room from the inside. Do not sign him. Number 2 is a familiar face to our assistant GM Brian Stark, John Franklin Myers. JFM is a monster. He can play defensive end, he can kick inside to tackle, he is the versatile chess piece we need on the defensive line. He is coming from Denver, so stealing him weakens a rival, which is always a bonus. Stark knows him well, and that connection matters. He has back-to-back seasons with 7+ sacks. His market value is projected at a laughable $7.5 million. That is a steal. I think he gets more, but even at $10 to $12 million, he is worth it. We need to replace the production we lost on the interior, and JFM is the perfect candidate to pair with Max Crosby to create havoc up front. And finally, the number 1 player on my board. The guy I would write a blank check for today. Tyler Linderbaum, the center from the Baltimore Ravens. I get chills just thinking about this fit. He is, without a doubt, a top 5 run blocker in the NFL. Spotrac says he might cost $17.7 million. I would give him $25 million without blinking. Imagine a line with Linderbaum at center and Jackson Powers Johnson at guard. It would be like the Bash Brothers from the Mighty Ducks. Just 2 dudes mauling people in the run game. If we are serious about Ashton Janty, if we are serious about protecting a number 1 overall pick quarterback, you make this signing. It is an investment in the entire future of the franchise. It sets the tone. It gives us an identity. Tyler Linderbaum is the dream target, and we need to do whatever it takes to get him in silver and black. Raider Nation, that is the list. We have the money. We have the need. Now it is time to execute. Let me know in the comments which of these guys you want the most, and if you made it this far, tag me on social media. I am ready for the craziest off-season of our lives. Let's get it done.